Hi there, this is Sandra with Brew City Thrift. Today I am at the Goodwill in Brown Deer. It's a suburb of Milwaukee. And this is a place that I regularly come to. I think they restock shelves. It's a Sunday, and I think that's a day when they typically are restocking shelves. So I'm hoping for some really great finds. I made a promise to myself, no mugs, no more. We'll see how well I do. All right, let's hit it. So the first thing I noticed today is this wooden box with a ceramic tile on the top with a pretty vase of flowers. I noticed the back is a little bit beat up, and taking a look at it, and when I open it up, it is a jewelry box with a velvet black interior. It's charming, but I decide it may be a little bit too beat up, so I put it back. And this wooden box catches my eye next. Another one. It's got a really pretty design of scalloping that's been carved into the box. I am trying to get a hold of it with one hand, not always the easiest thing to do. And when I open it up, I can see a little bit of a sectioned interior, possibly for jewelry. I do notice this chip on one side. Finally, I'm able to pull it out. And yes, mirror on the top, sections on the bottom there. And it's probably not that old. I do put it in my cart, but I don't keep it. It goes back on the shelf. Beanie Babies are a bit of a family joke. My mom collected Beanie Babies back in the day, in like the 1990s, and the rest of the family weren't sure what she was so excited about, so we tease her a lot about that. Here I'm noticing some handmade wooden cars. I do love handmade wooden cars. These are a little bit on the simplistic side, so I take a look at them, but I do not take them with me. And here is the mug aisle. So tempting. All of those unique mugs calling out, come take a look at us. We're so cool. But I managed to make it by them. Some of my viewers have mentioned to me that my camera work is so up close it can be disorienting, and I agree. I'm still learning the art of camera work for these videos, and I have consulted with my son who's a filmmaker. I can't adjust the camera, so I really have to just have a different technique, and that's going to take time for me to figure out how to, step away from the shelves and then step in when I'm wanting to look at something in particular. So thank you for your patience. I will get better. Here I notice a heavy glass snowman. It's a music box. The nose is intact. That's always cool. I am taking a look for chips. It doesn't seem to have any defects or damage, but it is not really fine quality, so I leave it behind. I noticed this pretty shallow dish. I really like the pattern on it. It feels like it's stoneware. There's a repair on the edge, so that goes back. I pull out this hand-painted sunflower tray, ceramic tray. I like to decorate with sunflowers in my house in the summertime. It's pretty contemporary though. And then I noticed this creamer and sugar with kind of an Art Deco feel to them with the squared off handles like that. They are pretty, but they're not that eye-catching for me, so I move on. Here's a hand-painted creamer with poppies on it. Very, very pretty. If the sugar were with it, I would have picked it up, but it was just a single creamer. This plate draws my eye, Mikasa, so contemporary, but as I'm fiddling with it, I notice the design on the top is really, really charming. It's hand-painted violets, and you may know that I'm very, very fond of hand-painted violets on ceramics and china, so I put it in my cart to check it out on eBay, and it turns out that it's a keeper. Continuing my look through the plates and dishes, stacked pretty high here. I notice this box with a Hanukkah tray in it. The design is charming, but it's pretty contemporary. My eye is caught by these coasters or plates down here with potentially hand-painted violets, and under it was a souvenir plate. I don't pick up the souvenir plates very often, even though that one was vintage. Here is a project. Someone glued those plates together. And some pretty textured glass plates in a pretty teal color. But I see this wooden tray, and I am really interested. I try to pull it out. I do love things made out of wood, but oh my gosh, it has a huge gash, so I don't take that with me, obviously. This looks like it could be vintage bakeware. Thought it might be Pyrex. Had a nice design, but it is not. This pretty bowl looks like it's a Tonala style Mexican bowl. It looks pretty contemporary. It's beautiful. I do like the design, but it was not marked anywhere by an artist or as coming from Mexico, so I thought it might be a reproduction. In this aisle, I notice these cups, and that is a pattern that I collect because I have that dish set. And oh my goodness, here is that dish set in a giant lidded tureen. That is called Blue Garland by Johann Haviland, and it is the china set that my mom started me on way back in the day. And I do add pieces to that set over time, so that went in my cart, as did this creamer. So it's really honestly a little fancy for my taste, but I do just, it's nostalgic for me, so I do add pieces to my collection when I come across them. This textured glass bowl is something that catches my eye. I often pick up clear glass when it has patterns like that, when it's very patterned, and it was pretty, but I did not take it with me. Here in the tchotchke aisle, I find something I've never seen before. It appears to be a clamshell that has been painted, hand painted, and there's a diorama made out of shell in there, so detailed. Wow, hand painted. I think that is unusual and interesting, so that goes in my cart. I noticed this metal bee candle holder. This stone figurine, it looks to be the style from 10,000 Villages, which is, I believe, an African artisan cooperative. And then I noticed this capiz-shell angel. I love capiz-shell. This angel is a little on the kitschy side for me, but I decided to take it with me. Oh my gosh, fingers! I get so excited about what I'm doing that I am not always careful about where my fingers are vis-a-vis the screen. That is going to happen a couple more times in this video, so apologies ahead of time. The tchotchkes are really, so fun to look through. This bowl is pretty, ceramic bowl with a nice heavy white glaze. Pottery bowl, I mean. And another piece of pottery. This looks to be a vintage mug with a classic brown glaze with the white drip glaze on the top. Piece of milk glass. It's got some schmutz in it. I find a metal trivet here. I just like the design. It's more ornate than you might think at first glance. Lots of detail there, but I end up putting it back on the shelf. I spot this pair of hand-painted ceramic candle holders by SPI. They're very detailed. I'm not in love with the design though, and even though it's a matching pair, I leave them there. I pick up a lot of things for personal use in this trip, like that box, but I wanted to show you in my cart some things I neglected to get earlier on film, including that white centerpiece pottery multi-pot. That is a good pickup. I don't know why I'm showing you the canister and not the centerpiece there, but that centerpiece was a really good pickup. These are crystal wine glasses that I got for my daughter. She asked me to go thrifting for those for her, and I was so happy to do that, and I really thought they were pretty. And then there's a little mud pie dish in there for my sister. So I don't know why I keep showing the boxes and not the things in the box, but those were some additional pickups that I found. And then again, wanting to show you that really cool clam. That did turn out to be a very nice find, worth a lot more than I expected. There's that capiz-shell angel. And then I guess I thought I'd show you, here's all the office supplies you can find at Goodwill. So that I thought that went pretty well. It was a small haul for me, with most of the items probably things that I'll be giving to family or friends. There were a few cool things that I picked up. That little clamshell with a hand-painted diorama inside. Now that is super interesting. I don't recall seeing anything like that before, and so someone else out there might find that interesting as well. The Italian pottery centerpiece planter, the one with the multiple pots around, I think that is a really versatile piece. It's white. It has a great glaze. I can see it with succulents or small ivies, and I think that would be a really nice piece for someone as well. That plate with the violets on it, I think it was Mikasa that made it. It's something that, I mean, I just love violets or hand-painted violets, especially on ceramics. So that is something that I'm really happy to have found. A few pieces for my own china set. They're not anything so super special, but it's the china set my mom started me on, so I do keep adding pieces to it, and I do use it once in a great while. And I think not one mug. Managed to get through the Goodwill without a mug. That's pretty darn good for me. So I hope you had a good time. Come back and watch my videos again. Send me a note, subscribe, tell me what I missed. Just keep on thrifting, brothers and sisters, sisters and brothers, siblings, and we will do this again. Bye-bye.